Hi, I'm Chris Kramarpur, and I'm going to help you use videos for some science experiments in remote learning. So here are some issues that I have with sending home experiments with students. First of all, if you ask kids to get materials from their kitchen, I mean, I teach several kids that live in shelters, and so there's an equity issue there because maybe not all of your kids have baking soda at home or whatever you use. The second concern is safety. I'm not talking about wearing goggles. I'm talking about if you send home some chemicals, let's say, and even if the student uses them appropriately, what if their baby sibling gets into it or their pet or something? So I think it's really dangerous to send home most supplies that we could use safely in a classroom. Third, you consider cost. Even if you have a safe lab, it might be expensive to send home 100 versions of it. And even if you could afford it, the distribution is an issue. I'm not saying forget about doing this. I think it would be ideal for students to do experiments at home. These are just some issues that make it much more difficult. Certainly, you can't do every experiment at home. So a lot of experiments this year are going to have to be virtual. And if you have live demos here, it's cut off here, but basically, what if a student misses class? What if a family member gets sick and they have to take care of them, or they have to watch after their little siblings? We've got to have it available asynchronously. So you could look on YouTube and just find some generic videos. You could find your curriculum specifically online and record that, or use that in class. But I like to record my own. So here's a few different ways that I plan on using videos this school year. The first one is a class-wide demo. And so this is simply a video that I've recorded here. Let's take a look. So now what I've done is I've put a test tube filled with salt water upside down over each electrode. Can you see that? So when it forms the bubbles, they'll rise up and they'll be trapped in these two test tubes. So let's watch that happen. This video is the second in the series after they've been introduced to how the system is working. Bubbles rising and getting trapped in here. So we're going to collect that gas and we can test it out. And then later we'll actually have a video showing testing the gas with a flammability test. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move on. Another way you can use these videos is to do a jigsaw with students so that they can record data. So for example, there is a part of this unit where I need students to make measurements of mass and volume so that they can calculate density by plotting the lines on a graph. Well, I don't need every student to record mass and volume for every liquid, so I can assign a group to go record measurements for alcohol, another group for the water, another group for glycerin. So I made a separate video for each, and then we can come back together as a class and look at the data together. The last way that I'm going to show you today is an interactive dashboard. So this is an experiment where, usually in class, I'd give one class one material and have them try mixing it with all the other different kinds of materials and see what happens. So what I've done here is I've created an interactive Google slide, and I'll share this with the students, and basically what happens when they click on one of these, it will open up about a 15-second YouTube video just showing that reaction, so they can choose which ones they want to see, and they can get the data this way, and if they want to go back after class and look at more, they can. So here are some overall suggestions I have for you. Number one, provide minimal narration, especially when you want them recording observations and data. Let the students do that. Number two, just really consider how you're going to use this in class. You saw in my video, I use time-lapse. I don't expect kids to sit and watch a YouTube video that's longer than a few minutes. And then, of course, model safe practices. If you're showing yourself on camera doing an experiment, make sure you have goggles and any other appropriate safety equipment. All right, good luck.